From your local election headquarters, this is Big Country Politics on KTAB.
Okay, welcome back to Big Country Politics. Now we have met the past the first CEO of the Development Corporation of Abilene. Now we're meeting the newest CEO of the Development Corporation of Abilene, Misty Mayo. Thank you for coming to the show.
Hello, thank you.
And welcome to Abilene.
I know, isn't that wonderful?
Well, we want to learn all about you.
Okay.
First, what brings you to Abilene? Is it the Development Corporation of Abilene?
It is the DCOA, in fact. I was approached back in March about coming to Abilene and accepting this job, and it was a consulting group that the DCOA board hired to do the search, and then from there made the commitment in July. So we moved our family in August.
Well, tell me about your family.
We have left an adult daughter in San Antonio. She's getting married next year, and then we have small children. Yeah, thank you.
And you have small children.
So we do. We have a 3rd grader and a 6th grader. So we've brought our entire family.
Well, again, welcome to Abilene. So what we want to find out from you is, I mean, how do you get into this line of work? Development Corporation of Abilene, we talked a little bit off the air a while ago. This didn't exist when we were little, so we didn't grow up thinking, hey, I want to lead the Development Corporation of some town. Tell us how that works out.
I know. I grew up thinking I was going to fly a fighter jet, and here I am, well, and in essence, I'm doing something with a purpose, and that's what I love. I actually had a really long-time friend of mine and former colleague that called me up knowing that I wanted to move back to South Texas, and he said, let me tell you about economic development. And that was over a decade and a half ago, and here I am.
So you were in economic development in Boerne, right?
In Boerne, which is Kendall County, which is the 7th fastest growing county in the United States. And then in San Antonio. So that all of my economic development, or most of my economic development career has been in the San Antonio region.
So tell us about your work. Well, first of all, over in Boerne, it was a type A or a type B corporate?
It actually was a public-private partnership. So it gives you an opportunity to leverage monies from several facets, not just the sales tax money from the community and from the taxpayers. So we are different in Abilene in that we're leveraging money from a portion of the sales tax is then committed for our economic development efforts. So and you have a question, so I'll wait for you.
Well, no, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
Well, I think that it's important for taxpayers, for my fellow residents, our fellow residents, to know what we're doing is we're taking money and we're multiplying it. We're multiplying it for the future of our community. It really is about the future. It's about saying, I'm actually playing a key role in helping to create jobs for my children, for your children, for our grandchildren. It's an exciting profession to be in. Well,
we showed an example of that before you came here in the studio because the Development Corporation of Abilene produced a video on their accomplishments over the last 30 years. And I didn't know this, but one of their first things was one of the prisons out in Hamby that brought hundreds of jobs, just what you're talking about. And this was over 30 years ago, and it's still producing jobs, and it will be producing jobs for decades.
Well, it's wealth generation. If you can supply jobs for the citizens of Abilene, we can grow and continue to build on an Abilene that's even stronger and more prosperous for the future. That's really what it is. It's about taking the burden off the residential taxpayer and moving some of that or sharing some of that from the commercial growth. If we can bring in more companies, that creates more jobs, but also creates more tax base, we can have better amenities, we can refine and develop opportunities maybe that our communities never had the ability to fund before.
You guys are like a primer. It's a big machine.
That's exactly what it is.
And you prime this machine where people are making money, spending money, and all adding to the tax base, really. And
doing it all for the future of the community. It's easy for us. I even have the tendency, and it's my profession. It's what I do every minute of the day. Even sometimes in the middle of the night, it's what I think about. And even I have the tendency to think about an immediate gratification when really what the DCOA is focused on is not just the jobs of today, but the future of our community. What's Abilene going to look like 20 years from now? What opportunities are going to be here for my adult children 30 years from now? And we're a part of influencing that and really leading that role and leading that charge to increase, and to your point, to kind of churn that engine that is economic development and is wealth generation.
Well, we've kind of talked about the philosophy of the DCOA, and we've talked about you. When we come back on Big Country Politics, I want to get into a little bit more detail of what the DCOA does, and some plans that you guys have coming up. And anyway, I just want to talk about all that with you when we come back here on Big Country Politics.